Hello everyone, welcome to Technology Begins. In this video, we will learn about list and tuple in Python. So let's start with list first. So what is the list? List is a ordered data structure where we can store the different type of values like integer, string, float, boolean. Even we can store the list also and dictionary. Okay, so let's take an example and how we can define that. So you can define like this list and parenthesis. So this will create the blank list for you. So let's see the type for that variable. So it will return the type list. So the this variable is basically a list type, and other way is you simply write the square bracket and it will also return the type list. So these two are the way you can use anything to define the blank list. Okay, and you can store the values inside of list like integer, float, string and boolean, and even you can store the list. Okay, so this is the list where we have stored the different type of values. And now how we can access, if we want to access this hello from this list, then how we can access it? So for accessing the list element, we can use the index, and list is basically starting from 0th index. So if we want to access the hello string, then we have to write like this: 1 is at the index 0, 1 and 2. If we write L of 2, then it will return the hello. So we can use the index for accessing the element of a list. Okay, and if we want to access the last element, or if we want to access from end to start, then we can also use the minus index. Okay, so how minus index will work: if I am starting from -1, then this index, this last element index is -1, this boolean element index is -2, -3, -4, -5. And if you are uh, going from first element, then its index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So this is how indexing is working with list, okay, in Python. So let's print this last element. Then as you can see, this is our last element is list, so it is printing the list. And if I am going to print second last index, this is true, then as you can see, it will return the true. So this is basically a list, and this is how we can access it. Okay, and there is a different method to change this list. List is basically a mutable, so we can change the element value also. So how we can change that element value? If I want to change this hello to hi, then if I am printing the list, as you can see, now second element is replaced with the string. So this is how you can change the element's value by accessing the list index L of 2 and assign the value to it. Okay, and if you want to insert something at some index, then you can use the insert method. Okay, so it will take the two parameters, like first will be index. If I want to add new value at index 2, and it will be uh, integer. Okay, then it will insert the new value at the second position, and other position will replace accordingly, as you can see in the output. Okay, so this is how you can insert the value at particular position. And if you want to append, this is the different method of inserting the element. This is list dot append. So if I am appending some values to this, like hi to this list, then it will append at the last position of the list. Okay, like this, it will go last position. If you want to add the particular element at some index, then you have to use insert method, and otherwise you can use the append method. And if I have another list, okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3, and if I want to add this list to this A list, I have to add into this L list, then I can use the extend method and passing the variable, then it will add the list at the end. Okay, not list, but it will add the list value to your main list. Okay, as you can see, 1 2 3, it will be added inside of this L list from the A. Okay, and this thing you can also do like L plus A, and this will also do the concatenation of this two list. Okay, let's clear this. And as you have to assign to the some variable, or you can do like this. Okay, so it will the concate the two list. So you can do either L plus A, or you can use the extend method. Okay, and if you want to uh, pop the last element, then you can use the pop method. If you want to delete the last element, then you can use the pop method, then it will delete the last element of the list. As you can see, 1 2.0 hello and true, this list is deleted. And if you want to delete particular element, then you can use del keyword, and you have to define list, and you have to add the index of it. If I want to delete this float value, then it is deleted like this. Okay, so this is the basic methods and basic example of list. So you can understand how list is working, how to insert into it, how to delete, and how to access the element of a list. Okay, so let's go to the tuple. So tuple are also same as the list. Inside of tuple, you can also add store the multiple types of value, but you cannot change the tuple. Tuples are immutable. So this is basically a difference between list and tuple. List are mutable and tuple are immutable. So you cannot change the tuple values. If you want to define the tuple, then you can define like this. There is also two ways to define the tuple. As you can see, if I am going to print type of this tuple, then it will return the type of tuple. Okay, so you can define like this is the blank tuple, and like simple buying assigning the parenthesis to the variable, then this is also declaring the blank tuple, as you can see. Okay, and if we are adding the multiple types of value, then it is also allow in a tuple. Basically, if in tuple we cannot change the tuple values, so it is basically a faster than list, and its iteratable is faster, and its implementation is fast than a list, and it is also uh, uh, storing in the less memory. It is required the less memory to store the tuple compared to the list. Okay, so this is basically a difference of list and tuple. Otherwise they are same. You can not perform insertion and deletion for this tuple. You can only access the tuple values. Okay, so this is basically a list where we sorry, this is basically a tuple where we have defined the integer, float, string, and boolean value. Okay, you can also add the list inside of this tuple also. Okay, and if I am print this tuple, then it will look like this. You can access the tuple using index as we have access in the list. We can, if we are starting from the tuple, then that starting index will be 0 1 2 3 4, and if we want to go from end to start, then that index will be -1 -2 -3 -4 -5, same as the list. Okay, so now if I want to access the second last element, then if I am going to pass -2 to this tuple, then it will give the second last element. Okay, you can access the tuple, but you cannot change the tuple value like this. If we are trying to change t of 2 is equal to 1, then it will throw the error like this. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so you cannot change or add or modify this tuple. Okay, so this is how you can access the tuple and define the tuple. Okay, so and if you want to access the tuple from, if we want to access the tuple from this 2.0 to true, this three element we want to access, then we can use the tuple slicing. Okay, and this same thing we can do with list also. Okay, so 2.0's index, so slicing is work from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so if we want to print 2.0 and to true, then we have to define the index for this. So this is 1, and we have to define this index 0 1 2. And if we are doing like this 1 comma 2, so first is a starting index and last is a ending index. So as I have said, we need to define n plus 1 index if we want to access the true. Okay, so currently what happen is it is starting from 1 and ending to 2 minus 1. Okay, that's why, so 0 1 2, and if I am adding this 3, then it will access the 1 and 2. Okay, so this 3 index is we need to define over here like 4. So these are printing the 2.0 hello and true. So this is how index slicing, or we can say tuple slicing is working. So you need to define from 0 to n minus 1 index. This is how this slicing is working. This same thing you can do with list also. if I am converting this tuple into the list, okay, so you can also define like this. Okay, if you are not passing any ending index, then it will go to the last element, and if you are passing any ending index, then it will go to the ending index -1. So you have to keep in mind that if you want to go to particular index, then you have to give the index plus 1, so you will get the end element. And if you are not passing the starting index, and if you are only passing the ending index, then if I want to access the string hello from start to hello, I need to access, then how we can define the ending index? If I am not passing starting index, then it is fine, it will start from this index 0, 1 and 2. So I need to define over here 3. Okay, so it will print the 1, 2 and hello. The first 3 element it will be printed. So this is how tuple slicing and list slicing is working, and its method and examples, and we have seen the difference of that. Basically main difference is tuple is we cannot change the tuple, and for list we can change it, and it required the less memory compared to the list while it will be stored. Okay, other than that there is no difference between them. You can access, like, both are accessing way are same. Okay, I hope you have understand this list and tuple concepts. Thank you for watching my video. See you in the next video. Thank you.